Here with our new student resource officer at Mountain Vista. We have some questions in order to learn more about you as a person and what your role is here at Vista. What past experience do you have in the community?
So the past experience I have is 7 years ago. I used to work in special ed at Mountain Vista High School, and I used to coach football, basketball, and lacrosse. So that helped me kind of integrate into the school quicker. And then beyond that, that's kind of where I got my experience within the community.
What made you want to become a SRO?
Actually, Deputy Fleet, who used to be the SRO here before, and Deputy Brown, who was over at Rock Canyon High School, when I first got in the special ed department, started talking with them, and they were the ones that kind of got me going on being an officer and coming into the school and getting back into coaching.
What are your favorite parts about your job?
You know, working with all the students is probably the best part. Seeing those guys when they come back after they've graduated and having them remember you for positive things versus all the negative things and what you've done to affect their lives, whether they become an officer, they went into the military, they're successful accountants, whatever the case is, they're great dads, great moms. That's the best part of being in this position.
What are some of the things you do as an SRO day to day?
You know, it's in classes we're trying to educate students more on driving, on the effects of their actions when they do something wrong, whether it's vaping or they're bad drivers and they're causing accidents out in the parking lot, whatever the case is. Kind of that continued education piece we do a lot of with students. We also make sure that school security is obviously one of our main components of our job. So that in itself is what we're focusing on every day, making sure we're working with security to make sure the school is as safe as possible.
How does knowing the school well and understanding statistics help you with your job?
You know, it goes back to a lot like coaching. I mean, it's if you know what the offense does on whatever 3rd and 4, and you know they're a passing team or a running team, it's kind of the same thing. The statistics that we know help us focus our efforts on what we want to be teaching students, on different areas of the school that we want to be looking at as far as problem areas. So we look a lot, the statistics on that type of stuff really contribute to how we work on a daily basis.
How did the STEM events affect your job and how did it affect you?
You know, personally, it's when it happens in your own backyard, you know a lot more people that were affected by it. Friends, family, guys I work with that have kids that go there. When it happens in another state, you kind of can deal with it at a distance. When it happens in your own backyard and you know people, there's a lot of passion that it kind of reinvigorates the passion for your job and really looking at starting to improve different areas that we may be weaker on as a school district or as a department or whatnot.
What's the most important part of your job?
You know, it's the most important is obviously safety of the students and the staff here. Whatever I can do to make, especially the students, the students should feel safe coming to school. That's one thing they should not have to worry about is their safety. The more I can accomplish that, the more I can go to bed easier every single night and know I've done my job.
Where do you think your future as an officer might take you?
You know, that's a tough question. It's a good question. For me, hopefully it's going to take me to the spot that I wanted, to where I'm really involved in the community to a different level than most people have the ability to do. I'm involved in the community at a law enforcement level, but then when I get back into coaching, you're involved in more of a personal level with the students and parents, and they get to see myself outside of the uniform, that I'm a dad, I'm a son, I'm your guy's friend. I'm not the normal cop that's just in the school doing law enforcement stuff and going home. So for me, that's where I hope it takes us, and that helps improve the community aspect of policing. And it also helps everybody else understand that I'm just like every other person once I take my uniform off. I like football, I like food, I like donuts, I like everything. So I mean, that's kind of where I hope this takes me.
That's good.